All right, back here on Sportsline, we are talking the St. Jude Rock and Roll Nashville Marathon, half marathon, all that great little artwork here that supports the event. It is absolutely Music City. Our guests tonight, Keats McGonigal and Alyssa Updegrave from the Rock and Roll series. And we were talking a little bit right before the break about the Kids Rock that happens on Sunday at Nissan Stadium, all about the kids, where they run and really kind of get exposed to running for the first time. But that's not actually the only event over there this year. There's a chance for the runners on Saturday to kind of double dip, if you will, isn't there, Alyssa?
Yeah, there is. We will have our 1 mile race. Historically, it's been on Thursday night, but with the NFL draft, we moved it to Sunday afternoon. So it'll start at noon at Nissan Stadium, and it's adult 1 mile. So the adult 1 mile will go off at noon, and then the kids will start at 1. So if parents are coming out, they can go ahead and run, and then watch their kids run right after.
And that's, you know, that's actually what we encourage, and part of the reason why we're doing this is to get the whole family involved. You know, so for some of these kids, you know, they're dragging their parents along, and so for some of them, the parents are dragging the kids along. But what we want is for the family to experience it together. Yeah. You know, and ultimately that's what, from our perspective, results in healthy living for everybody, is when you can be doing those things with your parents and with your friends and with your kids and everybody all together. The
family that runs together stays together, right?
Exactly.
So more than 30,000 people coming in, and you said more than half of those are from out of state?
Correct.
So what is the ultimate, because everybody wants to know this all the time when we have these big events, what is the ultimate economic impact of this race here in Nashville yearly?
Yeah, so each year it's a little bit different, but it's always over roughly about $20 million worth of economic impact that the event is bringing to the city every year. So certainly substantial, you know, and something that we look to continue to grow and support for years to come.
Yeah, I don't think anybody in Nashville is going to turn that down if you bring in that much every year. And we're all wearing our pins up here because St. Jude is obviously the title sponsor of the weekend's events and a great partner.
Absolutely.
This is the 8th year that they've been involved. How important has that partnership been?
For us, it's critical because, yes, the running and the event is valuable, but it all supports a greater mission. You know, and St. Jude is all about doing cancer research specifically for kids. And, you know, having 2 kids of my own, I know the value that kids have to entire families. And if we can help St. Jude on their mission to have kids who suffer this incredible disease be able to stay with their families for years to come, that's truly what it's all about. And you know, we're proud to be a platform from which they can do fundraising. St. Jude, last year they raised over $2 million as a result of this event, and so you know, we're thrilled to have them on as a partner and use us as a platform for that fundraising.
Yeah, last year it says here 3,000 St. Jude heroes, which is part of this too, because you see all sorts of groups out there running for various different causes. I've met a bunch of them over the years, and they all have great stories, but you see specifically a lot of the St. Jude heroes out there running for a cause, and it goes for a great cause.
Absolutely. It's a great cause, and it's a great motivation for the runners, right? You know, so for people that are running their first marathon, you know, you get into those later miles of the event in mile 21, 22, 24, and you need that extra motivation to get you to the finish line. And you know, if you've been raising funds for St. Jude, it's like, okay, if those kids can go through this, I can make it those last few extra steps to make it to the finish line and achieve my goal of doing this race.
Yeah, and just to put it into perspective for people at home, you said last year you raised over $2 million to help out St. Jude. It costs about $2 million for them to run the hospital for a day. So it tells you just how big the undertaking is over there and how many days they need like this and how great an event like this is to run the place for one day in the next year with what we get out of that weekend. Alyssa, you see so many of the teams out there running with different causes. We had a guy last year on the program who runs on GPS names of children who have been afflicted by various childhood cancers and things like that, to just sort of provide inspiration. You see all these inspirational stories, and it's really quite touching. What is it? Because you've been around the running community for a long time. You're a runner yourself. What is it about the running community that seems so willing to give and support causes like this?
You know, I think it's really important when you are running to run for a cause, because, you know, like Keith said, you get in those hard miles and you're like, okay, if this person, these kids can battle cancer, I can certainly get through 5 more miles, you know, 4 more miles, and just keep going through, because, you know, they're the ones who are fighting the real fight. And, you know, if you can support them in any way, in any shape or form, I think it's really special. And to be able to be a part of something, to raise money for such a great organization, is just truly, I'm truly blessed to be able to help them reach their goal, and to support these families and these kids as they go through it. So again, you know, it's something that touches my heart dearly, and I just always want to support them as much as we can. And, you know, St. Jude is able to activate on our course, and they'll have a huge presence at our expo. So it's really great to see them throughout the entire race weekend, engaging with the athletes, and the athletes can engage with them as well.
It's really, really special, no question about it. Inspiring when you go out there just to watch the runners and watch everybody interact with each other over the course of the weekend. Keith, how many different races are there in the Rock and Roll series at this point?
So we have 17 here in North America. But, you know, one of the things that's happened in the last couple of years is expansion internationally. You know, so Alyssa and some of our team members are going down to Colombia here in a couple of weeks. Wow. to help them host their first event there. We've had great expansion into China and Asia, over in Europe. So it's a product that's resonating now around the world.
So Alyssa, you're directing your first race in Nashville this year, and you're doing one in Colombia? That's quite the double dip you got there.
I'm just traveling to the one in Colombia. It's their first year having it, so I'm excited to be a part of it and hopefully learn some things there that, you know, maybe I can implement here. So it's always fun to cross different regions and see what they're doing, and you can bring into another event. The
real question is, how many bands do you have on the course in Colombia?
Probably like 26, I think.
Yeah.
Not 32.
Nobody's going to have 32.
No one's going to have 32.
That's a Nashville thing now. Keats, where does the Nashville one rank, though? 20 years in, it always amazes me, having done this show a few times and talking about the growth of it. I mean, Nashville has really become a destination for runners.
Correct, yeah. In terms of the series and number of participants, Nashville is currently number 2. Number 1 is currently our event in Las Vegas. So we are the only private company that is able to shut down the Las Vegas Strip. We do that in
it's quite the claim to fame, by the way.
It is. So we do that in an event in November, shut down the Las Vegas Strip and run up and down for the event there. But outside of that very unique experience, very unique city, Nashville is number 2, and we're proud to be at that spot and look to grow and challenge those numbers in Las Vegas in the years to come.
How much, can you give a perspective on the numbers of how much it has grown and over the time period, I guess? Because it seems like it's not growing exponentially now, but it seems like it continues to grow each and every year.
Yeah, every year we continue to have more and more runners, and you know, one of the cool things that happens, and I think this is a testament to the city in general, is we have 60% that are coming here from outside the state of Tennessee. They're going home telling their friends and family what a great city it is, what a cool city it is to go enjoy the weekend, and now they're bringing other friends, other families, other neighbors, and that's the snowball that just continues to roll and grow and get bigger and bigger.
They go home, they're really sore, but they're really happy they went at the same time. No question about it. We got to take another break. We will come back. We'll get into a few more of the logistics, just the details of the weekend, some of the times, the important things for you guys to know. And we'll continue on here on Sportsline on NewsChannel 5 Plus right after this.